this is Kirk Scotus from Trustworthy. This is part 3 of my conversation with Frank Eliason from Comcast. Have you ever gone outside, like into real life, offline? And
we sell Tasty Cakes.
Tasty Cakes?
Tasty Cakes. It's a Philadelphia traditional. Well, I shouldn't say just Tasty Cakes. There's 2 things we'll send sometimes. We don't do it often. If someone had something that really caught our eye, we'll send Tasty Cakes. It's a Philadelphia tradition, or a popcorn thing. So those are the 2 things we like to send once in a while.
And that's for what? What makes you send? What happens?
Any number of things. It's hard to put a. It's kind of like how Zappa said. You could be engaged in conversation and they start telling you bad things that have gone on in their life. It could just be. So it could be personal. It could be, hey, yeah, we messed up, and we want to do something to really earn your trust back. It could be, a really nice compliment. I've done it for that too.
Wow.
So any number of things will drive it. In terms of what triggers it, I can't say, oh, if you do this, it's going to trigger this. I don't know.
Right.
It's a lot of times it's just the nature of the interaction that we have with the person.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And so we've spoken about a few of these things. Do you guys sit and when these things, the Kevin Smith thing, do you guys get together and okay, let's talk about it? Do you study them?
We looked a little bit at the Southwest one. We looked a little bit at the Domino's one. But see, my background and what my goal is service. It's not PR.
Right.
I've never really sought to deal with stuff like that. At the same time, because I like the social media space, I like watching it. Really to get a feeling for some of those things, and just interest because I know people involved in many cases. But at the same time, I'll go completely crazy over reading every single thing because you know what? The way one company handles something might not work for another company. Success or failure. People, I know there's companies that try to replicate things we've done and maybe have not been as successful. And it really comes down to companies don't need to listen to all the stuff people are saying. They need to figure out what's right for them and their customer. And mistakes will happen along the way. There's going to be, someone's going to goof on something in the handwriting. You sit back and go, you know what? Let's learn from it. But at least we tried to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think if you have that right attitude, you'll be fine. The challenge is those that don't always have that.
So there's been a lot of discussion about how do you scale this within an organization. And Comcast is a nice large organization, and you're doing a damn good job with your team. So how does it scale?
Well, that's always a question that cracks me up. We hear it all the time, yet I have a team of 10 people doing it, so there's obviously a scaling opportunity right there. I think where a lot of people say, get into that doesn't scale, their point behind it is you need to improve service in other communication channels. First of all, I will be the first to admit all companies need to improve customer service, but that's not going to change anything about what we deal with. As I said, like Twitter, 75 or more % is first-time contact. So, there are means to make it scale. There's already tools that exist today that can queue up a tweet, queue up a blog post, even give the ability to assign it to someone else. We use Radiant 6, that has capabilities right within it, and many free tools for Twitter have that same capability. So you can do a lot of different things. And, and even, I kind of remember when email first hit service, people would be, oh, it doesn't scale, you can't do it, or you'd have legal going, you can't put it in writing. Guess what? I hear the same thing about social media. It cracks me up. Exact same arguments. Yet everything seemed to be able to be figured out how to do it now, didn't they? But what I really see in social media is, I don't care if you're talking Twitter, Facebook, forums, blogs, everything is really a form of community. And every space may be a little different in that community. And so one of the things that I think is going to happen long-term for companies, is like Zappos encourages all their employees to be out there and teaches them how to. I think as you have your employees out there, they're going to develop connections with customers. They're going to develop relationships with other people. What happens today, even on Twitter, someone tweets about something about Comcast. I see these hundreds of times a day. Well, have you spoke to Comcast Cares? Guess what? They're now doing the work for us. You know, and referring the person. So that's another way that you're actually operationalizing it. You're operationalizing it by when your employees are out there and wind up interacting with the customer and helping them. Now, what I think companies do need to consider is they will, I think, inevitably need a centralized team that can do the listening for the brand, but also where employees might get engaged with someone and have a conversation. Maybe they'll say, I don't know what to do with this. The employees need somewhere to go with it. That's what that centralized team can do, and then they can say, okay, we'll handle it, or, oh, that goes over here in this department.